instructor here at Swan River. And to me, yoga is an invitation to recognize the unifying forces of life itself.
So, if I could say anything to anybody is do what I did, and if you're going to get serious about being a teacher, get serious about who teaches you.
Oh, my name is Michelle Baker. I'm the founder of Swan River Yoga and the director of the teacher training. And it's such an honor to serve. The reason why I love the teacher training so much is because of satsang. Satsang means a truth in community and being in like-minded, like-hearted company. So when I see the depth of the connections that are made and being around others that want to do well and have deep and pure and lives that evolve, that to me matters tremendously, and that's what I see in the teacher training. I also love it as well because it is so comprehensive, and that's been a goal of mine since it started the year after Katrina. And the other part that is very important to me is that it's kept authentic and pure. I've had incredible teachers throughout my whole life from many different influences and backgrounds. The teachings that have come into my life, as well as even just the chance to serve to the immense level that I do. And for that reason, going to India as many times as I have, I cannot help but to be sure that it is kept as authentic as possible. So I hope someday to meet you and that you will join us for the Swan School teacher training as we all take flight together. Namaste.
I'm Bridget Martin. I graduated from the teacher training 5 years ago, and I was at a crossroads in my life. I had something within me telling me I wanted more. I just had a baby who's Briggs, and he's 5 now. And I want to call it a calling because I didn't even have a yoga practice. And I was going to very basic level classes, and I was working as a buyer in the fashion industry before this, and I just wanted something more. Like, I think something about becoming a mother made me feel like there was an emptiness inside of me that was just not okay. Like, I just wanted to keep going through the motions of being alive and not be able to fulfill myself in a way that I could be a good mother, you know? So I was a little bit depressed and kind of a little bit crazy in some ways, and so I told Miles, my husband, I'm signing up for the teacher training. And he's like, what teacher training? I'm like, yoga. And he's like, okay, so I'm not going back to work. I'm going to sign up for it. I signed up for it. I didn't know what I was getting myself into. And I remember taking my first class, never been to Swan River, never owned, never chanted, never done an inversion. And I remember going to Michelle's first class at the Shala on Magazine Street, taking the class and being just mortified after it because I'm like, what have I got myself into? I don't even know what this is. Why am I here? And I remember walking up to her after class. I'd already paid my deposit, and I said, I'm just so sorry. I didn't realize what I was doing when I signed up. I just didn't realize. And she just looked at me, and I remember that she looked at me in my eyes like she was reading my soul, and she was like, what do you mean? And I was like, I don't have the experience for this. I don't know why I'm here. And she said, I'm not concerned about that. She was like, if you came in and you weren't a nice person, I would be concerned. She was like, I see something in you, please don't run away, you know, just don't retreat because this is not what you're used to, you know. So it was sort of stepping out of my comfort zone for sure. And then for me, I like to describe the actual training as like a mirror that I couldn't look away from the whole time. It was like a reflection of like everything true in my life, and then all of these like falsehoods that I had been holding on to that weren't part of what I wanted to grow anymore. And so it was a shedding of a lot of layers, which is intense. And then my dad passed away during it. He had a heart attack, and that was really hard to deal with that. It was at the end of teacher training when it was really intense. So I went away for the funeral, and then I came back, and I remember finishing it, doing my video, wearing his dog tags. He was in the military, and so it was like liberating, life-changing, was a coming home in a sense, you know, in your own body, in your own life, and a breakdown of everything you don't want, you know? And so that's what it meant to me, and it was so life-changing, and everything changed, you know, the way that I looked at the world, the way that I was a friend, a mother, a wife, a teacher, everything changed. The whole world looked different. And then I moved into asking Michelle if I could mentor the training, just to be a support for the people that were going through it, and to be able to witness that journey through different people's lives and their stories was an honor and is an honor. And so that's why I'm still here.
But then he's also saying, now, right here, in this very moment, this is yoga.